Hello everyone, welcome to Educate 247. This is the 6th lecture on the MCQ revision series and the topic for today is Civil Disobedience Movement. With this lecture, you will be able to revise all your basic concepts of the Civil Disobedience Movement. So let's begin. So the first question is, what is the importance of the Lahore session of 1929? Okay, so the options given are launch of the Civil Disobedience Movement, Lucknow Pact signed, boycott of Simon Commission, and the word Swaraj was mentioned for the first time. So they have asked us what is the importance of the Lahore session of 1929. So there are certain sessions of the Indian National Congress where they are very important from the examination point of view. So last time we saw the Nagpur session of 1920 where Congress adopted extra constitutional means. Now, and where the non-cooperation movement was started. This session of Lahore, that is the 1929 Lahore session, is important for the launch of the Civil Disobedience Movement. So in 1929, the Lahore session presided by Jawaharlal Nehru. It was presided by Jawaharlal Nehru because he was the one who had done more than anything else to popularize the concept of Swaraj, and Gandhiji nominated him to preside the session. And at this session there are few things which are very important and took place. The round table conference was boycotted. So RTC was boycotted. Then complete independence was declared the aim of the Congress, and Congress Working Committee was authorized to launch a program of civil disobedience including non-payment of taxes, and all members of legislatures were asked to resign their seats. January 26, 1930 was fixed as the first Independence Day to be celebrated everywhere. So besides the launch of the Civil Disobedience Movement, they decided to boycott the Round Table Conference. They decided complete independence was the aim of the Congress. January 26 was fixed the first Independence Day. So about this Round Table Conference, so what had happened is there were 3 Round Table Conferences. Indian National Congress did not participate in the first roundtable conference. Now let us see the options which are given here. In what sessions were they signed? So Lucknow Pact was signed in the year 1915. So obviously this cannot be in the Lahore session of 1929. So if you know when was the Lucknow Pact signed, so the option automatically gets eliminated. Boycott of Simon Commission. So the Simon Commission was boycotted in the Congress session of 1927. 1927 Madras session boycotted the Simon Commission. Why did they boycott the Simon Commission? They boycotted the Simon Commission because it was an all-white commission. All-white commission, that is, no Indians were included in the Simon Commission. So in the Madras session of 1927, the Indian National Congress decided to boycott it. And the word Swaraj was mentioned for the first time in 1906. That was a session that was headed by Dadabhai Naoroji at the Calcutta session. And also you got to know some important points. The first roundtable conference was promised by Ivan. Okay, it was promised by Ivan, and so in 1929 at the Lahore session they decided to boycott it. You got to know the chronology. In 1927 the Simon Commission was boycotted. Okay, that was at the Madras session. In 1928 at the Calcutta session the Nehru report was accepted. So I'll tell you a brief outline of the events. 1927 Simon Commission was boycotted. 1928 the Nehru report was accepted. What was the thing in 1928? That older leaders like Motilal Nehru and Gandhiji wanted the idea of dominion status. Okay, they wanted dominion status, and younger elements like Jawaharlal Nehru and Surendranath Banerjee, they wanted complete independence. They were not for the goal of dominion, instead they wanted complete independence. So what did Gandhiji think? That a 1-year period to be given to the British government to accept the idea of dominion status. So Ivan made a declaration in 1929 that their aim was not dominion status, and there was no time scale for attainment of dominion status. The dominion status promised by Ivan would not be available for a long time to come. So that is, and also at this declaration made by Ivan, a round table conference was promised. So since the demand of dominion status was not fulfilled in the 1927 Lahore session, it was decided complete independence, complete independence, and to boycott the round table conference given by Ivan, and also the launch of the civil disobedience movement. So there is a chronology that 1927, 1928, 1929, 1930, all these sessions are important. So Educate 247 has launched 2 courses, UPSC EPFO 2020 comprehensive course, and the other one is the EPFO course, which includes industrial relations, labor laws, social security. All these are available on our website, that is www.educate247.com. We are also providing a discount of 40%. In order to avail this discount, use the coupon code EPFO. Next question is, given below is the nature of civil disobedience movement at different places. Which of the following is correctly matched? Okay, so Assam is, the options are Assam, strike against the Cunningham circular; Bihar, no chowkidari agitation; Maharashtra, Karnataka, central provinces, defiance of forest laws; and the fourth statement is United Provinces, no rent campaign. So in this question, the answer is all of the above is correctly matched. So in 1929 you saw that we had launched the civil disobedience movement was accepted. So this civil disobedience movement took various forms in different parts of the subcontinent. Okay, before the launch of the civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji had given 11 demands, okay, to the government, and gave them an ultimatum till January 31st 1930 to accept these. Some of them were reduction in expenditure on army and civil services by 50%, introduction of total prohibition, release of political prisoners, introduce in textile protection. But there was no positive response of the government, and that is why Gandhiji decided to launch the civil disobedience movement. So when was the civil disobedience movement launched? It was started by the Dandi March. Okay, so Dandi March, that is in March 12th, Gandhiji started the Dandi March, and it was till April 6th. So this Dandi March was started by Gandhiji in March 12, and it went on till April 6th. And this nature of civil disobedience movement were in different parts, were taken under different forms, as you can see, like in Northwest Frontier Province Khudai Khidmat Karz was there. Textile workers were active in Sholapur. Salt Satyagraha in Darshana. No Chowkidari tax, as I told you, in Bihar. Anti-Chowkidari and anti-union boat tax in Bengal. No tax movement in Gujarat. Civil disobedience of forest laws in Maharashtra, Karnataka, central provinces. Agitation against the Cunningham circular in Assam. No rent campaign in UP. Okay, so we have to know that the civil disobedience took various forms in different parts of the subcontinent. So if they ask us, like in Bihar, it was no chowkidari. In Maharashtra, it was defiance of forest laws. In Northwest Frontiers, it was Khudai Khidmat Kar. It was a completely non-violence program. Okay, so we have to know each of the following and who led them. So in Tamil Nadu, it was led by C. Rajgopalachari, led the SALT. In Malabar, it was led by K. Kelappan, who was the leader of the Vaikom Satyagraha. In Orissa, it was under Gopal Bandhu Chaudhary. So various forms of civil disobedience movement in different parts of the subcontinent, and the leaders who led them is very important from the examination point of view. Next question is, which of the following was not agreed by the government at the Delhi Pact? So you know there is a Delhi Manifesto, there is a Delhi Pact, and there is a Delhi Proposal. So all these three are important. Asked in this question is, which of the following was not agreed by the Delhi Pact? The Delhi Pact was also known as the Gandhi-Ivan Pact. So there were certain provisions made in the Gandhi-Ivan Pact. We have to know all which were agreed from the government point of view, which were not agreed by the government, which were put forward by Gandhi. So here they have asked us which of them was not agreed by the government. So let us see. Immediate release of all political prisoners not convicted of violence, remission of all fines not yet collected, return of all lands not yet sold to the third parties, public inquiry into police excesses. So at the Gandhi-Ivan Pact, the government agreed to, first of all is, government agreed to immediately release all this point, remission of all fines not yet collected, return of all lands not yet sold to the third party. They also agreed right to make, I will give you the point, right to make salt in coastal villages. They agreed to right to make salt only for personal consumption, okay, personal consumption and not for sale. Then right to peaceful and non-aggressive picketing, right to peaceful and non-aggressive picketing, and withdrawal of emergency ordinances. So they had not, government did not agree on public inquiry into police excesses. So government did not withdrew two things: public inquiry into police excesses and commutation of Bhagat Singh and his comrades' death sentence to life sentence. So these two things were not agreed by the government. The other things like immediate release of political prisoners, remission of fines, return of lands, peaceful picketing, then making salt for personal consumption at the coastal areas, these all were agreed. So two things were not agreed. Which were they? Public inquiry into police excesses and commutation of Bhagat Singh and his comrades' death sentence to life. And Gandhiji on his behalf agreed for two things: to suspend the civil disobedience movement and to participate in the round table conference. In the first round table conference, Congress did not participate. In fact, Lahore session had decided to boycott the first RTC. But now at the Delhi Pact, that was the Gandhi-Ivan Pact, Gandhiji decided that it will participate in the round table conference. And when was this Gandhi-Ivan Gandhi-Ivan Pact signed? It was in February 14, 1931. Okay, so this was the importance of the Delhi Pact or the Gandhi-Ivan Pact. From Gandhiji's point of view, from the Congress, we decided to participate in the RTC and we decided to suspend the CBD, whereas the government on their side, they had certain points which they accepted, where they put down 2 points, that is public inquiry into police excesses and commutation of the death sentence to life sentence. Who set up the All India Antitouchability League? A very important question, as I told you in the previous lectures also, that these exams ask us the various associations associated with various political leaders. So we got to know, the question is, who set up the All India Anti-Untouchability League? Is it Mahatma Gandhi, Surendranath Banerjee, E. Ramaswamy Naikar, or Govind Ranade? The answer to this question is Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi set up the All India Anti-Touchability League in September 1932, and he also started the weekly Harijan. He started the weekly Harijan in 1933. So Gandhiji also, to remove the concept of untouchability, he did a lot. He also undertook 2 fasts. Okay, he undertook two fasts to tell the followers of the seriousness of his effort and the villages, and work for social, economic, political and cultural upliftment of the Harijans. Throughout the campaign, Gandhiji was attacked by orthodox and reactionary elements, but Gandhiji did a lot to tell about the seriousness of the issue. He as I told you, he set up the All India Anti-Untouchability League. He started Harijan. He also undertook 2 fasts. The next question, the resolution on fundamental rights and national economic program was passed of which of the following session? Okay, so the question is, the national economic program and the resolution on fundamental rights, which of the following sessions it was passed in? Is it the Karachi session 1931, Haripura session 1938, Calcutta session 1928, or Gaya session 1922? The answer to this question is Karachi session 1931. So in the Karachi session, it was a very important session, the resolution on fundamental rights. Okay, resolution on fundamental rights and resolution on national economic program was endorsed. And also in this session, it was for the first time Congress spelled out what Swaraj would mean for the masses. The concept of Swaraj was first time mentioned in 1906, but what Swaraj would actually mean was told in the Karachi session of 1931. Also, what had happened, the resolution that while disapproving of disassociating itself of political violence, the Congress admired the bravery and sacrifice of 3 martyrs. You saw that in the Gandhi Ivan Pact, they did not commute the death sentence to life, but the Congress admired the bravery and sacrifice of the 3 martyrs. And at the Karachi session, Delhi Pact or the Gandhi Ivan Pact was endorsed. The goal of Purna Swaraj was reiterated, and 2 resolutions, one fundamental rights and the other on national economic program, which made this session very memorable. So we saw the Lahore session, the Madras session of 1927, Calcutta session of 1928, where the Nehru report was accepted, 1929 Lahore session where civil disobedience was launched, then Karachi session where national economic program and fundamental rights was accepted. All these sessions are very important, as UPSC might ask which of the following was accepted at which of the following sessions. We will be having more of these type of questions in the upcoming lectures. This is all for today. Thank you and happy learning.